All right, folks, buckle up because today we're diving into one of the most shocking and exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting. Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for a quarter to feed the parking meter, and BM. You spot a 2017 D Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Just a regular OL penny worth. Well, a penny. But what if I told you that this very coin, under the right circumstances, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, you heard that right. $1.7 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or a lifetime supply of tacos, whatever floats your boat. Now, before you dump your whole piggy bank onto the table, let's talk about why this penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you might just strike it rich. And, of course, stick around till the end because I'll be sharing a personal story about my own wild coin hunting adventure. Let's go. First things first, let's break down what makes the 2017 D Lincoln penny so rare and valuable. The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, but not all 2017 D pennies are worth a fortune. So what's the deal? The key is in the errors and unique characteristics. The $1.7 million penny in question was struck with a rare double die error, meaning the design was slightly doubled due to a mistake at the mint. If you look closely, really closely, you might see a doubling effect in Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions, or the date. This tiny flaw makes all the difference in the world. But hold on, there's more. This coin also has an unusual finish, a result of a rare minting anomaly. Only a handful of these pennies exist, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks to get their hands on one. When a rare error like this pops up, the price skyrockets because everyone wants a piece of history. Now, let me hit you with a personal story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, just your average Saturday morning, sifting through old records, vintage toys, and, of course, a few coin bins. An old-timer had a jar full of pennies, and I figured, why not take a look? I fished out a few interesting ones, paid a couple of bucks, and went on my way. Later that night, while checking my haul under a magnifying glass, I found a 1972 double-die penny worth a few $100. Not bad for a pocket change find. Ever since then, I've been hooked on hunting down valuable coins. And let me tell you, the thrill of finding a rare coin in everyday places never gets old. So, what can you do to see if you have a fortune sitting in your loose change? First, grab a magnifying glass or a coin microscope. Check your 2017 D pennies for doubling on the lettering, Lincoln's face, or the date. If you spot anything unusual, don't clean the coin. Just put it in a protective holder and get it checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and give you an official grade, which can determine its value. Now, let's talk money. A regular 2017 D penny? Still just a penny. But one of these ultra-rare error coins? It recently sold for $1.7 million at auction. That's life-changing money. And while finding one is like hitting the lottery, people do find rare coins every day. So why not you? All right, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the scoop on the 2017 D Lincoln penny. Who would have thought a tiny 1-cent coin could be worth millions? Just goes to show, never underestimate the power of pocket change. Now, before you run off to raid your couch cushions, let me leave you with this. If you love learning about valuable coins, hidden gems, and money-making strategies, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. And hey, if you've ever found a valuable coin in the wild, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. All right, folks, picture this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, thinking, nothing special here. But wait, you pick up a 1976 penny, no mint mark, and suddenly, boom, your life changes forever. Why? Because this little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A single penny worth more than a mansion, a limbo, and a lifetime supply of tacos. Now, wouldn't you want to know if you've got one of these life-changing coins just chilling in your couch cushions? Stick around because I'm about to break down everything you need to know about this ultra-rare penny, its shocking value, and how you can spot one in your own pocket change. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. First things first, let's talk about what makes the 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special. Now, if you've been in the coin game for a while, you know that pennies from the Philadelphia Mint typically don't have a mint mark. So, what's the big deal? Well, most 1976 pennies were made with the standard copper alloy, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, but a few, just a few, were accidentally struck on a completely different planchet, and that's where the magic happens. Some were made with a highly valuable experimental metal blend, while others had unique striking errors that make them worth a fortune today. Now, here's where things get even crazier. The exact number of these rare 1976 no mint mark pennies is unknown, but experts believe only a handful exist. That's right, we're talking lottery-level odds here. One of these rare pennies, verified by professional grading services, recently fetched a mind-blowing $1.8 million at auction. That's a whole lot of cheddar for a coin most people wouldn't think twice about. So, how do you know if your 1976 penny is the real deal? Let's break it down. First, grab a magnifying glass. Yes, channel your inner detective and take a close look at Lincoln's bust. If you notice a doubling effect on the lettering or the date, you might be onto something. Next, weigh your penny. A standard 1976 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams, but if yours is off by even a little, you could have one of these rare misprints. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years back, I was sorting through a giant bucket of pennies. You know, one of those, I'll take this to the bank one day buckets. I wasn't expecting much, but I came across a 1976 no mint mark penny that looked a little off. The color was slightly different, the strike was a little strange, and my heart started racing. I took it to a local coin shop, thinking I was about to retire early, only to be told it was just a regular old penny. Ouch. But hey, that's the thrill of coin hunting, right? You win some, you lose some. And trust me, if you ever find the real deal, the victory dance is gonna be legendary. Now, if you think you've got one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets, what's next? First, do not clean it. Cleaning a valuable coin can actually decrease its value big time. Instead, take it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can verify whether you've got the million-dollar penny or just a really cool story for your grandkids. So, there you have it. The 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny, possibly sitting in your coin jar, waiting to change your life. Who knew that a single penny could be worth more than a private island? Now, before you rush off to start digging through every penny you've ever owned, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. I drop videos like this all the time, bringing you the latest coin collecting tips, rare finds, and strategies to turn your pocket change into a fortune. And hey, if you find a million-dollar penny, you owe me a taco. Deal? All right, folks, picture this. You're digging through your change jar, looking for enough to buy a cup of coffee, and you spot a 2020 Lincoln penny. You shrug, toss it back in, and move on. But what if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth nearly $2 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $1.9 million for a single penny. Suddenly, that coffee doesn't seem so important. Today, we're diving into the mystery of the 2020 Lincoln penny that's making headlines. How did a coin minted just a few years ago skyrocket in value? Could you have one sitting in your pocket right now? And most importantly, how do you cash in if you do? Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you might just be running to check your loose change. So, let's break this down. First, what makes this penny so valuable? Well, in the world of coin collecting, rarity and errors are king. This specific 2020 Lincoln penny has something special, an error so rare that only a few are known to exist. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you see, let's talk about the details. The high-value version of this coin has a dramatic minting error, double striking, misalignment, or even a unique die clash that sets it apart from the millions of ordinary pennies out there. Coin experts believe only a handful of these exist, and collectors are willing to pay big money to get their hands on one. And speaking of errors, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was sorting through some old change, hoping to find a valuable wheat penny or a silver dime. Instead, I found what looked like a completely normal quarter until I looked closer. Turns out, it was an off-center strike, and after some research, I learned it was worth over $300. Did I sell it? Nope. I put it in a safe place and promptly forgot where I put it. Moral of the story? Always check your change and maybe label your coin stash. Back to the 2020 penny. If you think you have one, the first thing you'll want to do is inspect it under good lighting. Look for any unusual marks, errors, or oddities in the design. Then, check the weight. Rare errors can sometimes have a slight difference in weight from regular pennies. If it looks promising, your next step is to get it professionally graded. A high-grade, Error 2020, Lincoln penny is what's pulling in the big bucks, and professional authentication is key. But where do you sell $1 million penny? You're not exactly going to slip it to the cashier at the grocery store, right? Auctions are the best way to go. Big names like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers regularly handle rare coins like this. And if you're lucky, you could be looking at a final sale price of $1.9 million, just like the one that made headlines. So, what have we learned today? First, never underestimate a penny, especially one from 2020 with a Denver Mint mark. Second, errors and rarity drive up value like crazy. And third, your change jar might just be hiding a fortune. You just need to take a closer look. Now, before you run off to dump your couch cushions for spare change, do me a favor. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or even just made you laugh, hit that subscribe button. I cover all the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next big discovery. So, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows? Your story might be in my next video. Alright folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a penny. Yes, a humble 1-cent coin. That's worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. You heard that right. We're diving into the mystery of the 1964 D. Lincoln penny, a rare beauty that has coin collectors and treasure hunters losing their minds. Now, before you start tearing up your couch cushions looking for loose change, let me tell you why this particular penny is the golden ticket of pocket change. We'll cover why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and what makes it stand out from the billions of other pennies out there. Oh, and I'll throw in a little story about how I almost mistook a valuable coin for a gumball machine donation. Spoiler alert, I still have regrets. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's go treasure hunting. Let's start with the basics. The 1964 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mark below the date. Now, normally, these pennies aren't anything special. In fact, you probably have a few lying around in your car's cup holder, stuck to some old gum. But what makes this one so rare is a combination of errors, high-grade quality, and a little bit of numismatic magic. First off, there's a special variety of this penny that has a super distinct doubling effect, known as a doubled die. If you look closely at the date and lettering, you'll see a ghost-like shadow, a clear sign that you might be holding on to something more valuable than you thought. Then, we have high-grade specimens. A regular 1964 D penny in average condition? It's worth 1 cent. Shocking, I know. But one in pristine, almost untouched condition? That's where things get crazy. A 1964 D penny graded MS, 67 or higher is what collectors dream about. There have been reports of certain experimental planchets used in 1964 that could have resulted in unique, ultra-rare versions of this coin. Some say they exist, some say they don't. But hey, if there's $1 million penny out there, you better believe someone is looking for it. Now, let me hit you with a personal story. A few years back, I was helping my grandpa clean out his old cigar box full of coins. As a kid, I just saw a pile of pennies. But looking back now, I swear I saw a 1964 D that had some crazy doubling on it. And what did I do? I threw it in a parking meter. Yeah, I might have fed $1 million coin to a metal pole. Lesson learned. Always check your change before you spend it. Grab a magnifying glass and check for any doubling on the date or letters. Look for sharp details and a glossy, almost untouched surface. No scratches, no pocket lint, no signs that it's been through the wash 5 times. That if it looks promising, get it professionally graded. Don't go by what your Uncle Bob says at the family barbecue. Take it to a real expert. And finally, if it turns out you have one of these $1 million pennies, call me. I mean it. We're going to celebrate, and maybe I'll forgive myself for that parking meter incident. So there you have it. A simple penny, potentially worth $1 million, sitting out there in someone's collection, or possibly even in your own pocket. The next time you get a handful of change, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a minute. Look, inspect, because who knows? You might be holding on to your next big payday. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more coin hunting tips, valuable finds, and money-making strategies coming your way. And hey, if you find a 1964 D penny worth $1 million, at least let me take credit for making you rich. All right, picture this. You're digging through your loose change. Maybe you just bought a coffee, or maybe you're fishing for a quarter to feed a stubborn parking meter. And then, right there, mixed in with all the other ordinary pennies, is a 1973 D Lincoln cent harmless, right? Just another penny? Wrong. Because if it's the right one, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. One single penny could be worth more than a fully loaded Lamborghini. So today, we're diving deep into the story of this million-dollar penny, what makes it so valuable, how to spot one, and why the coin collecting world is going absolutely nuts over it. And hey, I'll even share a little personal story about the time I almost lost out on a big coin find. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about some serious coin cash. Why is this particular 1973 D penny worth $1 million? Most 1973 D pennies are just regular OL copper coins, right? But here's where things get spicy. The key to this penny's insane value is a unique error. There's a rare batch of 1973 D pennies that were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets from the early 70s. That's right, a silver penny from a time when pennies were supposed to be pure copper. Now, this mistake happened because, well, let's just say the US Mint isn't perfect. Every now and then, a few rogue planchets from a different metal composition sneak into the coin presses, and when they get struck with the Lincoln cent design, you get something incredibly rare. In this case, a 1973 D Lincoln penny that's actually silver instead of copper. And since these aren't supposed to exist, collectors will pay big money to get their hands on one. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these silver cents? Well, here's the good news. You don't need a fancy lab or a PhD in coin science. All you need is a magnet and a good eye. First, try the good OL color test. A real 1973 D penny should have that familiar coppery look, but if you've got one of the rare silver planchet errors, it'll have a much brighter, shinier surface. Next, try the magnet test. Copper isn't magnetic, but if your penny gets pulled toward a magnet, well, sorry to disappoint, but it's not the one we're looking for. But if it doesn't stick and has that silvery sheen, you just might be holding a $1 million coin. Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I once almost tossed away a valuable coin. A few years back, I was going through a pile of old change, just casually checking dates, nothing serious. And then, boom, I see a 1943 penny. My heart stopped because I knew some of these were made of steel and some were mistakenly struck in copper, making them super valuable. I grabbed a magnet and held my breath, and guess what? It stuck. My dreams of an early retirement? Gone. Moral of the story? Always double-check your change. You never know when you might be staring at a fortune. All right, back to business. Let's talk numbers. In recent auctions, one of these rare 1973 D silver pennies fetched a staggering $1.1 million. Why? Because there are so few of them, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for rare mistakes. Think of it like this. Regular pennies are like common cars you see every day. But a rare air penny? That's like spotting a one-of-a-kind sports car that was never supposed to hit the road. People will pay crazy amounts just to own a piece of that history. Now, if you think you have one, what should you do? First, don't spend it. I repeat, do not use it to buy a candy bar. Second, get it authenticated. You'll want to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, who can confirm if you've got the real deal. If they verify it, congrats, you just hit the jackpot. So, next time you're about to toss that spare change into a coin jar, take a second look. You might be sitting on a life-changing fortune without even realizing it. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and strategies to find money in the most unexpected places, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now go check your pennies, and if you find a silver 1973 D, you owe me lunch. Just saying. You're sifting through your pocket change, expecting to find nothing but a few rusty pennies and a gum wrapper, and bam, you're holding onto a coin worth $1.20 million. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1978 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin so rare and valuable, it makes you wonder if you should start checking every penny you've ever tossed into the couch cushions. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, just casually browsing through a guy's coin collection, when I overheard an old-timer talking about a penny that could be worth millions. I laughed, because come on, who believes that? $1 million penny? But as it turns out, that story stuck with me, and now here I am, telling you that it's real. And you might be holding one right now. So stick around, because today we're breaking down what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why it's making collectors go absolutely nuts. All right, let's start with the basics. The 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is exactly what it sounds like, a penny from 1978 that's missing a little letter under the date. Normally, you'd expect to see a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But in rare cases, due to a minting error, the coin was struck without a mint mark at all. And that is what makes it one of the rarest and most valuable pennies out there. How did this happen? Well, the US Mint is usually pretty careful, but every now and then, something slips through the cracks. Back in '78, there was a lot going on. Disco was still alive, Star Wars was taking over the world, and someone at the Mint must have been too busy grooving to Saturday Night Fever because they forgot to put a mint mark on some of these pennies. Oops. And now, collectors are more than happy to pay a small fortune to get their hands on 1.so. What does one of these bad boys look like? If you've got a 1978 Lincoln penny, here's what to check for. The biggest clue. Flip that penny over and look under the date. If there's no little letter there, you might be in business. A shiny, uncirculated penny with crisp details is worth way more than one that looks like it survived a zombie apocalypse. Some of these rare pennies have slight variations in weight, which can help confirm authenticity. Now, let's talk money. The highest recorded sale of a 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny? A whopping $1.20 million at auction. That's right, someone out there cashed in big time on a single cent. And even if yours isn't in perfect shape, these coins have been known to sell for thousands of dollars in lower grades. So yes, checking your spare change is officially a million-dollar habit. But hold on, before you go quitting your day job to become a full-time penny hunter, there are a few things to watch out for. There are fakes out there. Yes, people really do try to fake pennies. Some clever folks take regular 1978 pennies and tamper with them to remove the mint mark. If you think you've found one, always get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. So, what's the lesson here? Never underestimate your spare change. That little penny sitting in your car's cup holder or at the bottom of your junk drawer could be worth life-changing money. And the best part? There are still undiscovered 1978 no-mint mark pennies out there. Could one be in your collection? There's only one way to find out. Start checking. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and money-making strategies coming your way. And hey, if you ever find a million-dollar penny, don't forget who told you about it first. Drop a comment below if you're going to start searching your pocket change. I want to hear your stories. All right, folks, picture this. You're at a gas station, you buy a pack of gum, and you get some pennies back in change. You're about to toss them in that random cup holder in your car. But wait, one of those pennies could be worth over $1 million. No joke. Today, we're talking about the 1992 D. Lincoln penny, the little copper warrior that could turn your spare change into life-changing money. We're diving deep into what makes this coin special, how to spot one, and why it's worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million in today's market. So, grab your pennies and your magnifying glass, because we're about to go on a treasure hunt. Let's start with a little backstory. The 1992 D. Lincoln penny comes from the Denver Mint, which means it's got that little D mint mark under the date. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what makes this particular penny worth more than my entire car? Well, the secret lies in the design. In 1992, the US Mint was transitioning between two reverse designs, the regular wide AM and the new close AM. The rare and valuable 1992 D penny is the one that mistakenly got the close AM design when it wasn't supposed to. That tiny error created one of the most sought-after coins in modern numismatics. Now, how do you know if you have the $1 million version? Grab a 1992 D penny and flip it over. Look at the word America. If the A and M are practically holding hands, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. If there's a visible gap between them, well, keep searching. But don't worry, there's always another roll of pennies waiting to be searched. All right, let me tell you about the time I thought I found one of these bad boys. I was going through a pile of pennies, heart racing, sweaty palms, ready to be a millionaire. And guess what? I found a 1992 penny with a close AM. I did a little happy dance, nearly called my boss to quit my job, until I realized it didn't have the D mint mark. Oof. I had the Philadelphia version, which is still valuable, but nowhere near $1 million. Lesson learned. Check twice before celebrating. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but why is this coin so valuable? Simple. Supply and demand. Only a handful of these pennies have been discovered, making them incredibly rare. Coin collectors, especially those with deep pockets, are willing to pay top dollar for them. The most recent sale hit a whopping $1.3 million. Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. Pay off your mortgage, buy a dream car, or finally get that fancy cheese at the grocery store without checking the price. So, next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. Take a second to check that date and mint mark. That tiny, seemingly ordinary coin could be the key to your financial freedom. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more treasure hunting secrets to share. Who knows? The next $1 million coin might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that could change your life forever. Sounds crazy, right? But hold on to your magnifying glasses because today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and mind-blowing 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, and still have change for a lifetime supply of tacos. If that doesn't make you check your couch cushions immediately, I don't know what will. Now, before you go running to break open every piggy bank in the house, let me walk you through everything you need to know about this legendary penny. What makes it valuable, how to identify it, and most importantly, how you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll be an expert in spotting rare coins that are worth real money. First off, let's talk about the basics. In 1975, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of them had mint marks, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, but then, out of nowhere, a small number of pennies showed up with no mint mark at all. And that's where the magic begins. Why is this important? Normally, a missing mint mark wouldn't be that big of a deal, but in this case, it means that something unusual happened during production. These pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but for some reason, the usual P mint mark was never applied. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, ChatGPT, my 1975 penny doesn't have a mint mark either. Am I rich? Great question, my friend. Not all no mint mark pennies are valuable. Only the ones with specific errors or unique features. Now, here's where things get exciting. The most valuable 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny has a specific error, an ultra-rare die variety that gives it a unique look under magnification. It has crisp, bold details, a deep red hue, and a strong strike, making it one of the sharpest examples ever found. This penny, in pristine condition, was graded MS 67 Plus by PCGS. That's Professional Coin Grading Service, for those new to the coin collecting world. When it went up for auction, collectors went absolutely wild, and the final bid, a staggering $1.40 million. Now, let's make this fun with a little personal story. A few years back, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage. He had jars, literal jars, of old pennies, and me being the coin nerd I am, I started sifting through them. Suddenly, I found a 1975 penny with no mint mark. My heart nearly exploded. I ran inside, grabbed my magnifying glass, and checked every single detail. Turns out, it was just a regular Philly penny. No $1 million payday for me. But hey, at least I got some quality time with Grandpa, and a reminder that treasure hunting is half the fun. Now, how can you check if your 1975 penny is the golden ticket? First, grab a magnifying glass and look for sharp, detailed features, strong lettering, no signs of wear, and a deep red or brown color. Next, if you think you've got something special, get it graded by PCGS or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Trust me, spending a few bucks to grade your coin is worth it when we're talking about a potential seven-figure payday. So, there you have it. The 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there. And who knows, you might just have one hiding in your collection. Remember, the key to making money with coins is knowledge, patience, and, of course, a little bit of luck. That if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you never miss an update. and give this video a big thumbs up. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or do you have a crazy coin hunting story? I'd love to hear it.